When you watch this video, you might see yourself in it. You probably also have people around you who laugh at everything. Even in situations that would shake someone deeply, they can still find humor. Yes, most likely that person has experienced many things in life, and I'm not talking about a bad haircut in middle school. I'm talking about more serious experiences that change the way you look at the world. I will talk, and you just imagine. Someone cuts them off on the road. The first thing that comes to mind is an angry situation we usually face in traffic, right? No. They already build several scenarios in their mind. Maybe that driver is having a bad day. Maybe things are not going well with their family, or maybe they are simply in a hurry. If you have survived your own storm, someone else's rain touches you differently. What people don't tell you about those who have experienced serious things in life is this: their brains operate on a different frequency. This is not breaking. It is a training born out of necessity. They have a very powerful weapon, strong empathy, and positive outlooks. These people develop a kind of immunity against the chaos of life. Not immunity to pain, but immunity to being completely destroyed by it. They have learned that survival is not just possible, it is inevitable. And right here is where things start to change a little. Many people assume that someone who has gone through hell will be bitter and closed off, right? But often the opposite happens. Maybe they become the most empathetic people you will ever meet, even aggressively empathetic, because they know the language of pain and suffering by heart. A slight change in your voice, that fake smile, they are already planning how they will check on you. They can feel silence, not just the words, but the emotions those words carry. Is it heavy, disappointed, angry, or just tired? When they walk into a room, they don't see people, they see the emotional temperature. If someone in the room is having a bad day, they notice it immediately. And from all this pain, something beautiful emerges. What psychologist Richard Tedeschi calls post-traumatic growth. According to Tedeschi's research, half or even two-thirds of people who experience serious trauma go through a forward leap. It shows that trauma can be not an ending, but a beginning. Their relationships deepen, their priorities become clearer. Their gratitude for ordinary moments sometimes seems excessive. They watch a sunset and their eyes fill with tears, and they are not ashamed of it. For them, every day is considered a new hope and a new chance. Don't you think this is a good habit? I think if everyone had such awareness, the world would be a more beautiful place. But like every beautiful thing, this also has a downside. These people often experience hypersensitivity. Their danger signal system never completely turns off. Never. Do you know someone who always wants to sit facing the door in a restaurant? Or someone who has 6 or 7 backup plans for a simple coffee meeting? This is not paranoia. This is the nervous system of someone who learned the hard way that safety is a luxury. And one more thing, they constantly minimize what they went through. It wasn't that bad. Others have had it worse. I'm fine, really. It's as if they are afraid of looking like a victim. To survive, they told themselves they were okay. Admitting the difficulty feels like failure and weakness. Now let's talk about relationships. People who have been through a lot are either extremely loyal or extremely distant. Sometimes, strangely enough, they can be both at the same time. They will come help you without hesitation even at 3 a.m. But ask them to openly talk about their own needs, and suddenly they are very busy. If past experiences have taught you that attachment can be dangerous, when someone gets close to you, your nervous system doesn't relax, it goes on alert. They want relationships, but they are afraid of depending on someone, because dependence in their life once demanded a sacrifice, so they learn not to need anyone. It may sound strong, but believe me, it is actually a very lonely road. At the same time, these people adapt incredibly well to change. A new job? Sure. A new city? Why not? Life fell apart on Tuesday? Still moving forward? And their humor, especially their dark humor, is on another level. My friend, this is a different level. This is gaining power over pain. When you can laugh at the absurdity of your own suffering, that pain loses some of its power. Every joke is a small rebellion against that pain. Another interesting point, these people have a complicated relationship with control. They manage even the smallest details of their lives, but when facing big uncertainties, they are strangely calm. Quite an interesting paradox, isn't it? Because they believe that big things are often beyond their control, but small things, those can be controlled. That's why they might have a crisis over which cup to drink their coffee from, but a career change can be something they accept calmly. I keep saying it, they are very deep, a deep ocean. They are paradoxes. Strong, yet delicate, hopeful, yet realistic. They have accepted that life can be both beautiful and cruel at the same time. Maybe life really is like that, who knows? But they rarely talk about their sadness. Don't misunderstand. This is not the grief of losing someone. It is the grief of losing themselves. The grief of losing the version of themselves who trusted easily. The version who laughed without checking the room first. The version who didn't rehearse conversations, who didn't search for danger in every silence. The lighter version who lived without a tight chest, and many other effortless versions of themselves. How do you explain that you miss a version of yourself you can barely remember? How do you say that you feel homesick for a place that existed only in your mind? For a childhood you couldn't fully live, for the softness you couldn't protect, for the freedom you learned too late. This sadness does not break them. It shapes them. It makes them quieter, more observant, more intentional. Because they know the cost of chaos, they value peace. They appreciate safe people because dangerous ones taught them the scale of pain. Maybe this is the real psychology. Such people don't just survive. They understand human relationships at the deepest level. For them, strength is never falling apart. It is about being able to gather the broken pieces again and again. Their survival turned into deep reflection. Their pain turned into compassion, and without even realizing it, they became a lighthouse for others. Because they survived the hardest storms themselves, they became a light of hope for others too. A lighthouse does not shine because it is perfect. It shines because it knows how to find the way in the darkness. So, if you ever see someone who stays calm and even laughs in the middle of chaos, remember that they earned this wisdom through great hardship and past experiences. Every joke, every boundary, every unexpected depth is the result of what they have lived through. Even though they walked through very difficult roads, they are still here, still hopeful, still full of love. This is not just psychology anymore. It has become their characteristic trait. If you like this video, you can subscribe for more, dear friend.